Hello and welcome to the AI Experience News Roundup. Here's a look at the latest headlines and key developments in the world of AI, all in under 10 minutes.
If you think about what happened from GPT-3 to 3.5 to 4, it just got smarter.
The field became known as artificial intelligence.
Can machines really think?
What if instead of spelling the death of Hollywood, artificial intelligence was actually giving a new lease on life? In an article from the New York Times titled "What if AI is actually good for Hollywood?", the journalist explores the impact of artificial intelligence on the film industry, focusing on visual innovations and the changes that could bring about. This article highlights the work of Metaphysic, a visual effects startup that uses AI to create digital renderings of human faces. The journalist was able to directly experience this technology by seeing his own face transformed into that of a celebrity with stunning realism. This experience underscores AI's potential to revolutionize visual effects, offering unparalleled quality, speed, and production costs. What makes this information interesting is that it goes beyond the simple technological framework to touch the very foundations of filmmaking. The article uses the example of a film Here, directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. In this film, the actors are digitally rejuvenated thanks to Metaphysic's AI, allowing them to portray their characters at different ages from 18 to 80. This is a first in the industry, made possible by this technology since a traditional approach would have been more prohibitive in terms of time and money. Beyond the technical prowess, this article raises crucial questions about the future of work in Hollywood. Could AI replace artists and technicians? While the article acknowledges that some jobs will be impacted, it also highlights the emergence of new roles and new forms of collaboration between humans and machines. Testimonials from directors like the Russo brothers, who are integrating AI into their creative process, show that this technology can be a powerful tool for stimulating the imagination and pushing the boundaries of storytelling. This article highlights a palpable tension in Hollywood, an industry both fascinated and worried by the rise of AI. We see a technology in full evolution, still imperfect, but whose potential is undeniable. What this article shows us is that AI is not an imminent threat to the film industry, but rather a tool that is still maturing, offering new creative perspectives while raising important ethical and economic questions. Does your voice assistant sometimes feel a little limited? Well, Siri might soon surprise you. An article from Bloomberg reveals Apple's plan for a version of Siri supercharged with artificial intelligence. In this article, the journalist reveals that Apple is working on an improved version of Siri, nicknamed internally as LLM Siri. The goal is to allow Siri to compete with chatbots like ChatGPT, thanks to the use of advanced large language models. This information marks a major step in the evolution of voice assistants. Imagine a version of Siri capable of holding natural and fluid conversations, a bit like talking to a human. That's the promise of LLM Siri. The integration of those language models would allow Siri to perform much more complex tasks than those it manages today. This article also gives us a glimpse behind the scenes of the development of this new version. We learn that Apple is testing LLM Siri in a separate application on different devices and before fully integrating it to replace the current version. Apple is planning a first presentation in 2025, probably during the Worldwide Developers Conference, the WWDC, in June, at the same time as the presentation of iOS 19. But be warned, patience will be required. While the presentation is scheduled for 2025, the actual launch of LLM Siri would not be expected before spring 2026. What if artificial intelligence could help us anticipate natural disasters? That's the feat that just achieved by Google DeepMind with GenCast, an AI agent capable of predicting the weather 15 days out, surpassing even the most powerful traditional models. An article from the New York Times tells us that GenCast was developed by Google's DeepMind division and is capable of surpassing the predictions of the European Center for the Medium-Range Weather Forecast, which is the world-leading authority on the subject. GenCast was found to be more accurate in 97% of the time and on a set of more than 1,000 global weather variables. What makes this information interesting is that it shows that AI could be used to solve complex problems and have a major societal impact. By more accurately predicting extreme weather events such as hurricanes, GenCast could help save lives, reduce property damage. And this article also mentioned that 15 days forecast instead of the 10-day forecast we have today would have considerable social economic benefits. GenCast differs from traditional weather forecasting methods in its probabilistic approach. Instead of providing a single deterministic prediction, it offers a range of possibilities with associated percentages. For example, it can give the probability of rain in a given region on a given day. This approach is considered more nuanced and more difficult to achieve than deterministic forecasts. Moreover, GenCast is much faster, a few minutes for a 15-day forecast compared to several hours for traditional supercomputers. This article also highlights the openness of Google DeepMind, which has decided to share GenCast code and make its forecast available to the scientific community. This is a break from the protectionist attitude one might expect from a private company, and this transparency can only accelerate progress in this field. Remember NotebookLM, that AI-powered learning tool that surprised everyone, including Google? Well, hold on tight, because Alphabet, Google's parent company, has added some game-changing features to it. For those who are unfamiliar, NotebookLM is an AI-based learning tool developed by Google that can, among other things, transform documents into minutes-long podcasts hosted by 2 AI hosts. And it's those very hosts that are getting a major update. Imagine this, you're listening to an audio summary of your documents and suddenly a question pops into your head. Well, with the new version, you can now interrupt the AI host to ask them your question directly. They'll answer before resuming their discussion. This is a significant step towards a more natural and intuitive interaction with AI. But that's not all. The announcement also mentions a redesign of the interface with 3 new panels, one for organizing your sources, one for talking to your research, and one for creating new content such as study guide or summary document. Finally, a new Plus tier is being launched, aimed at businesses and power users. It offers collaborative features such as shared netbooks and joint analytics, as well as enhanced privacy options. Artificial intelligence has often been criticized for making up information, a phenomenon known as hallucinations. But what if these hallucinations could be an asset to science? This is what an article from the New York Times published last December explains, exploring how it could help scientists to make major discoveries. In this article, we learn that the hallucinations of AI, far from being a simple flaw, are becoming a valuable tool for scientific research. They allow researchers to explore new avenues, imagine unprecedented solutions, and accelerate the discovery process. What is particularly interesting here is the change in perspective on AI hallucinations. Instead of seeing them as a problem, scientists are beginning to harness them as a source of creativity. The article cites the example of David Baker, the Nobel laureate in chemistry, who uses AI hallucinations to design completely new proteins, paving the way for revolutionary medical applications, specifically in the treatment of cancer and viral infections. His laboratory has already obtained around 100 patents thanks to this technology and has created or helped to create more than 20 biotechnology companies. This article also highlights an interesting terminological debate. Some scientists reject the term hallucination, which they consider misleading and negatively connotated. They prefer to speak of probability distributions or consider AI outputs as leads to be explored rather than errors. Far from being a bug, hallucinations are becoming an engine for scientific innovation. They open up new perspectives in fields as diverse as medicine, meteorology, and robotics. And this is a silent revolution, but one with potentially significant implications. That's a wrap on this week's AI News Roundup. Join me every Sunday for a new episode in English or in French, packed with expert interviews on the front lines of the AI revolution. For my French-speaking listeners, head over to the show AI Experience en Français on your favorite podcast platform. And if you liked what you heard, I'd really appreciate those 5-star ratings. Talk to you soon.